All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another Wednesday training for the team. Today's agenda is going to be specifically on overcoming of objections that you guys are coming across when it comes to whether it be you guys are talking about insurance, retirement planning, income protection, mortgage protection. I know a lot of you guys are starting to do webinars, seminars, in-person events. You're talking to more people, which is great. So congratulations to you guys. We are recording this. We're going to go ahead and put it back in the back office. A couple of announcements before we get started and we start opening up today. Number one. I'm hosting a financial goal setting webinar tomorrow at 6 p.m. I've sent all of you guys the link multiple times. You guys all have opportunity for making a flyer as well. I've put the template. I've uploaded everything. I believe Trey Vaughn is the only one and Gabriella are the only ones that have taken action on that. I would highly suggest promoting that webinar, getting registered yourself, getting people registered, because I'll be presenting to everybody and I'm not asking for anything if you're closing that business, right? So make sure that you are promoting that and you have all of the things that you need to. The three things that I'm going to be talking about are the top three things that people need to start doing in 2025 to achieve their goals, their financial goals. Okay. So yes, of course, I'm going to be talking about real estate, taxes with the new administration, saving, investing, the products that we have, but it's going to be very, very value-based. It's going to be within an hour. I would highly encourage people to get registered, even if they can't make it, because they will receive a recording as soon as the webinar is over. I'll take questions in a second, okay? So just make sure you write it down so you don't forget. That's tomorrow at 6 p.m. The second thing is this Saturday. This Saturday, we are having a live event, the TFA kickoff meeting. If this is your first time attending, be ready because TFA kickoff meetings are fire. And the number one thing I always tell people is I wish I would have invited more people. If you're trying to get somebody for them to become a client, for them to become a referral partner, somebody that you want to grow with and you eventually want to build a business and a relationship with, you're having trouble. Guys, Manny's invested probably 20, 30 grand into an event like this, and it's not for him. It's for TFA. It's for you guys. It's for all of us. So I would highly recommend purchasing some tickets or inviting people to the event. I already have a list of about 15 to 20 people that are already confirmed to be going with me. So I would suggest that you guys invite your freaking butts off, okay? The third thing, I want to give a couple shout outs, okay? Shout out number one, I want to give to, he's going to hear it on the recording, which is Frank. Frank has been the number one producer when it comes to this year, okay? He's put in just this week, maybe between last week and this week. This guy has gotten busy. He's submitted over 8 or 9 apps already, and this guy is absolutely crushing it. Everything that we said that we have done, we've had a couple of meetings together, and this guy's absolutely crushing it. So Frank Sanchez, we have 2 Franks on the team now, but Frank Sanchez, congratulations, bro. I'm super, super proud of you. You did an amazing job. Rocio, Miguel, and Zaida are also going to watch the recording of this. They are collaborating, and yesterday they did a live on LinkedIn and they hit over 300 people, right? Over 300 people, and they got a ton of appointments that are lined up and a bunch of people that are asking questions. So LinkedIn is definitely going to be something that I'm going to get plugged into as well after knowing that, okay? I'll have Rocio, I'll schedule her to come in and kind of give us a little master class here in the next couple of weeks on how she did that, because she also has a very successful PNC business. So that's a big one. The third people I want to give a big shout out to, Sheila is on the call today, and her business partner, my sister, Roxana. They did an unbelievable job last night. If you missed it, honestly, y'all missed out. Like straight up, y'all missed out. You want to know how to get clients? Sheila's one of the top producers on the team. I just want you guys to know that, right? Sheila has literally came on in the last 2 years and she has been extremely coachable. Literally, she doesn't fight anything. She's just very like, okay, like this is what I got to do to become successful. She doesn't question it. She pushes forward. She's got a ton of freaking things that she could be using as an excuse, but she doesn't. And yesterday, she did an amazing job presenting on mortgage protection. Some of you guys are realtors. You know people that own real estate. You're talking about living trust. You missed out on a really good webinar. So the next time she does one, I would not miss out, and I would invite people to it. Her content was fire. If maybe she's nice and you text her and you send her like a $10 Starbucks gift card, maybe she'll send you the recording. All right. And then the third or the fourth and final shout out before we get into our training for today, I want to give a super big shout out to my wife, Gabriella. It is her birthday today. Baby, I love you. She is on her way into the office on her freaking birthday. Can you believe that? Talk about freaking commitment. Okay. She is committed. So, babe, I love you. I'll see you in a little bit. All right. So let's get into today. I'm going to open up for some questions and then we'll get into objections. Yvonne, I know you raised your hand first. So let's go ahead and get to you.
Yes. Okay. So I have, let's see, first and foremost, for your webinar, I have registered quite a few people, probably almost like 10 people. So
Heck
I'm
yeah.
hoping that, they show up. But it was a good talking point to get them moving. Also, so my trainer, so he's like done. He's just like, oh, well, I'm gonna go with his Primerica guy because that's his good friend and this and that. And I said, okay, well, when he redoes his policy, we could take a look at it and try to match it. I was talking to someone else yesterday and he was saying that I'm good. I don't want anything that you're selling. I said, well, I'm not selling anything. I'm just, offering you options to protect or grow your assets. And he was just like, I'm good.
Okay. All right. This is good because you guys are going to come across this, right? Yvonne, I love that. I know rejection sucks, but believe it or not, that's sales, right? So here's a couple things I want you guys to just take note of, right? There's 3 A's. When you're when you're overcoming of objections, there's 3 A's I want you guys to write down, right?
Yes.
A number 1 is acknowledge. A number 2 is ask.
Mhm.
And A number 3 is answer. In that order. I want you guys to train your mind. Acknowledge, ask, and answer. Okay. A lot of times what we do is that we just answer the question instead of, asking a question back or even acknowledging their question, right? So we always want to acknowledge, ask, and then answer. Okay. So when it comes specifically to your client, Yvonne, here's what I would acknowledge. So we're just going to say Johnny. I don't know why I always use Johnny. I love Johnny, right? Hey, Johnny, so just to make sure you're not interested in any type of the services that we, that we provide. I completely understand that. Completely, I get it, man. But if you don't mind, do you mind if I ask you a quick question? Wait for the
Yes.
answer. He says, yeah, absolutely. What's up, Yvonne? So, Johnny, what is it that you're not interested in? Are you not interested in hearing from our products or are you not interested in saving more money?
I did say that. I
Okay.
did go into that.
So then you wait for the answer. Okay. And then you ask another question. Johnny, let me ask you another question. The Primerica policy that you have, say it's $200 a month or $150, whatever it is. Johnny, let me ask you a question, man. You're young, you're healthy. Do you plan on passing away within 30 years, man? He's going to say, no, Yvonne. He's going to look at you like you're crazy. I said, what if I could find you something that you pay the exact same amount for, but I could get you all your money back if you don't use it? So let me ask you again, Johnny, are you not interested? What is it that you're not interested in? The services that we provide? Or are you not interested on getting all your money back if you don't have to use it? Because you do know, Johnny, that you don't get that money back if you don't use it, right? And you just answered my question. You don't plan on passing away within 30 years. So let me ask you again, Johnny, what is it that you're not interested in? saving on the cost of insurance, or getting all of your money back. Alternative of choice, right? Now, here's where it's a dead end. The person selling him the policy is probably a family member. If that is the case, it's a dead end,
Mhm.
right? That's probably the only reason why it would be a dead end. Another possible reason may be because maybe he's just really unhealthy, right? And this is not the case in this scenario, right? Maybe the person, when they got the policy, they were in much better health. Now their health is completely terrible and they can't get the policy, right? Because their premiums will be way more expensive. You and I worked on this case, and from my understanding, he's in better shape than he was when he originally got it, right? And we ran a
Correct.
policy. We ran an Apple for Apple policy, a Primerica policy versus
Mhm.
one of our policies, and we actually got him more coverage for cheaper
Mhm. This
with
guy's
better
just
living
lying.
with better living
Mhm.
benefits. So then
Mhm.
ask him again, hey, what is it that you're not interested in? Write this in your notes if you can, please. A confused mind does nothing. So if you bring clarity to the questions you ask, now the person can make a better decision. And if he
Right.
still says no, hey, completely cool. All good. Keep it pushing. There's
Mhm.
millions. I'm gonna do the Trump thing, right? There's millions and millions and millions of people
Mhm.
in the United States. Millions and millions and millions of people. Don't get butthurt if one person says no,
Right.
right? So again, acknowledge, hey, Johnny, completely understand that you're not interested, but do you mind if I ask you a question? What is it that you're not interested in? Saving more money on the cost of insurance or getting all of your money back in better coverage? Now you put the ball in his court, and the guy says, well, damn, I don't plan on passing away within 30 years. If he still says no at that point, keep it pushing. All right, Johnny, sounds good. Looks like I got to find myself a new trainer.
You said getting all your money back when the term is over. Is that what you said? What was the verbiage?
Yeah. And now
Mhm.
what that does is, what do you
That's
mean? What do you mean I could get all
right.
my money back?
Mhm.
More coverage.
What do you mean I could get all my money back? Well, there's permanent options
Uh,
inside of these
mhm.
policies,
Mhm.
right? Miguel, I just gave you a shout out, bro. What's going down, brother? Juan, what's going on? Right? So again, alternative of choice. What is it that you're not interested in? Right? Really good objection. Really good objection. Today, guys, we're doing objections. Juan and Miguel, just so you guys know. Just so you guys know, Juan is one of our newer reps. He's partnering in. He owns a tax business, mortgage business, real estate. I mean, this guy probably, this guy just he's a jack of all trades, and he is really successful, man. So we're really excited to have him on, and he's partnering in with Miguel. So what's going on, guys? Today we're doing objections. So any objections that you guys have, okay? Um, Yvonne, did that bring a little bit of clarity to you?
Yeah, I think what I have to do is just learn to just walk away if they're not interested. I do the three A's, right? Because that makes sense. And when they're just hitting a wall and they're not even answering your questions, like the guy I spoke to last night, Jimmy, I'll refer back to him once he gets his actual policy, whenever that happens, and we can do apples to apples. This other guy just is ignorant. So there we are. We leave it there and walk away.
Yeah, it happens,
Hmm.
right? You're good. Sometimes, like, that's why it's so important to know like the market that you're fishing in.
Yeah.
And with time, you'll start to see like some people are just very stubborn and hard-headed. If you were on the training yesterday, you kind of heard a little bit of the when we were talking about market. Um,
Right.
you heard, the biggest objection or thing that Sheila was dealing with when it came to police officers, specifically in the
Right.
environment. Some people are just straight up like, I hate to
Yeah.
say it, like, ignorant, but it is what it
He's
is.
not, yeah, it is. And he's not my market.
Right.
He was like, why are you talking to me? Are you my friend? Or are you talking to me to sell me something? It's like, okay, you've got it all twisted.
Yeah.
This is not
It
what
is
it is.
what it is.
But
Yeah. You just
yeah.
keep it pushing.
Yeah.
All right. Let's keep going. Other objections that you guys are dealing with.
Mm.
Okay, so this morning I slipped up. This guy I've been kind of just at the gym opening up this person like speaking, and he asked me how my weekend was, and I told him, oh man, it's been busy. Obviously you're just gonna kind of sell something bigger than what it really is. But I told him, I was like, yeah, a lot of IRAs being rolled over this season. And he told me, oh man, I just did that 4 months ago. And that was my mistake. I asked him what was it that he rolled over and what he rolled into, and he wasn't sure. And I left it alone. And I remember you telling me that when someone does that, even if they just got something, it's congratulations. Do you mind if I take a look at it? Is that how I should have handled that objection this morning?
Yeah, good question. Good question. So again, if you're just jumping on, 3 things when you're handling objections. Number 1, acknowledge. Number 2, ask, and then answer, right? A lot of times what we do is answer. So in this scenario, Trayvon's at the gym. The guy's talking about rollovers. A lot of people rolling things over. Oh, yeah, Trayvon, I love what you're talking about, man. Yeah, I actually just rolled over my 401k or whatever it was last month, right? Dude, that's freaking awesome, man. Congratulations. Do you know what type of account or IRA you rolled your 401k into?
Okay, I did that.
Okay. What was his
And
comeback?
he was like, oh, I'm not sure. He something. He was a little confused by it. And my next follow-up question should have been like, do you mind if I take a look at it? And that's the part that
Negative.
I think I missed. Or
Negative. Negative. Because now you're a sales guy, right?
I'm okay. I'm glad I didn't do that then.
Keep digging. Do
Well,
you know if
and
hold on, Sheila, give me a sec. Do you know if the type of account or IRA you rolled into is protected against losses? Do you know if it's a variable, a fixed, or an indexed IRA? Do you know what type of IRA it is? Here's the other question. Do you know what the fees associated with that IRA is? Right? Do you know what the do you know what type of benefits you have with that IRA, Mr. Client? These are all questions that I'd be writing down, guys.
Yeah.
Do you know if your family could actually take possession of that IRA if you were to not be here? Right? These are a bunch of questions that I would just keep asking constantly. Right? Sorry, my
Ask more
wife just walked in and
questions.
she saw the surprise in the office. I got her a big bouquet of flowers and a bunch of things, but it's her birthday today. Anyways, hold on. I gotta show you. I know this completely off script, but it's my wife, so I gotta do it. Hold on. I want to show you guys. It was right there. I got her a big old bouquet of flowers. Happy birthday. All right.
Happy birthday.
All right. So Trey, does that make sense?
Yes, that makes
Keep,
sense.
keep asking.
But one thing did come out of it. He did point out to a gentleman that I didn't speak to today because I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do a little more research. But he says, but you need to talk to this guy named Jacob. He just sold 22 Bitcoin. So I was like, oh, okay. So that's someone that's kind of like on a higher value net worth. So that was going to lead to my second question. When we're speaking to someone that just sold Bitcoin, what's the conversation starter that we should be having?
You just sold some Bitcoin. And I'm glad we got a tax guy on here. Maybe the tax guy can help me answer this because I can't give tax advice. But selling Bitcoin, selling any type of crypto, are you getting taxed on that, Mr. Tax? Ron's trying to figure out how to unmute.
Yeah. Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Any kind of gains on crypto is basically the same as any other kind of investment. It is capital gains, so it's going to be taxed either short term or long term. So yeah, it is taxable.
Perfect. So there you go. Hearing it from a tax guy himself, I can't give tax advice, right? But you just heard it from a tax guy, man. So now, Trayvon, when you come across that, bro, I was just talking to a tax guy last week. I heard you sold some Bitcoin. What's the taxes on that look like?
Okay, good. Okay.
I love cryptocurrency. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. So it sounds like you're a pretty knowledgeable investor. I believe in tax now, tax later, tax exempt. What type of assets are you investing into that are growing tax free? Right? That's a good question. Before we
Yeah.
get ahead, I know Sheila had something. Sheila, just so you guys know, Sheila's really big in the rollover market. She'll probably roll about. Sheila, what's your goal this year for rollovers?
I set it low for 2 million, but I think I'm gonna double that, I think.
All right. So let's say 3 million. So Sheila do 2 to 3 million in rollover business this year. So I definitely think that she's got some good nuggets that she could share. Go ahead.
So just on that, based off of Trevon's question, just so you know, and obviously this is probably something you wouldn't want to divulge to your client or your prospect, is the money can't be moved for another 3 years. Most of the carriers that we service, like F&G, NLG, a lot of the annuity products and IRAs, you cannot move the money 3 months or leave it there for 3 months and then the next year move it again. It has to be for a 3-year term, and then after 3 years you can move that money. So if you maintain the relationship with that client, don't just make that like a no and just close him. Set your calendar, and I know that sounds crazy, but set your calendar for 3 years from now, but still drip on this person throughout that 3 years. Let him get to know you. And then in 3 years, and again, put your calendar, it sounds like something psycho, but you're going to get a notice in your phone to follow up with this person. And you can just be like, hey, I'm doing my annual reviews. I thought of you. I know that you had set up that, the IRA back in 2025. How's it going for you? Do you want to see any other options? See if you possibly, can make more money or save more money or whatever that looks like, whatever your verbiage looks like at that point in time. But don't take it as you messed up the conversation because you didn't come off as salesy. So you didn't turn the person off. You just now have a new contact and you got a referral out of it. So even though that person just sold that Bitcoin, yes, he has to pay taxes on that. But now that gives you some form of a cash deposit where you could sell that person an annuity if you meet with that person. So yeah, he has to pay taxes on the Bitcoin and all of that, but that he probably has a good 100,000 or I don't know how much Bitcoin is, honestly. I don't even know what it is, to be honest. But he has cash available now for you to sell him a product, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. Thank you so much, Sheila. I really appreciate that.
Something I'd like for you guys to just really keep in Sheila, that was amazing. That's fine. And that's coming from someone over that's really big in the rollover market. Okay. She's only going to probably double her business over the next year. Another question that I would ask, right? Now knowing that information, Trayvon, here's a key question that I would ask if you came across somebody with a 401k that just rolled over, didn't roll over, has a traditional iRush, has a 450 set, anything like that. Here's probably one of the biggest questions you want to ask. Hey, Johnny, what kind of access do you have with that account? Do you know when you can access the money? Whether that's an opportunity or not, let's just assume that they did roll into an annuity. Majority of annuities have access after year 1. So what you could ultimately do is you get into a tax conversation. Let's just hypothetically say it's a 10-year or 8-year annuity or something like that. You could take out, let's just say 10%, and you could dump it into a life insurance policy. Now, you don't tell them that while you're working out at the gym, but what it does is that it sparks a conversation. And now we say, hey, Johnny, what type of access? Dude, congratulations, by the way. What type of access do you have with that account? You start asking them all these questions. And then you know what the ultimate question is? Hey, man, I'd love to, bro, we're getting our pump in right now. This is not the time to talk about this. When you got some time next week to chat? You book the appointment. So remember the 5-step sales system, bro? Remember that. What's step number 1, guys? Prospect. What's step number 2? Make contact.
Book the appointment. Oh, book the appointment. No,
make contact. You're having conversation with him. You're asking him a bunch of questions, right? And then step number 3 is what?
Book the appointment.
Book the appointment. What's the 4th option?
Share options.
And what's the 5th?
Close.
Close, right? So there you go, right? As long as you just follow the freaking play, you're gonna produce
Okay.
prospects. Juan, you're just jumping on. This is probably the first meeting that you come with us, right? Bro, Juan doesn't need to prospect. Juan, quick question for you, man. How many people do you have in your book of business? Juan's ran a
Yeah, it's between 380 to 420 every year. Kind of fluctuates.
He's got 400 people coming to his desk every single day. Do you think he needs to do social media? Probably not. Okay. The prospects are there.
I probably should, but I don't do much.
Probably, yeah, but you don't really need to, bro. That is your prospecting. Same thing with Roxana, right? Roxana also, she's not on the call. She'll listen to the recording. She has a tax office, right? The second one is make contact. He's making contact with these people every single day that they come into his office. So really what the third, and the reason why Miguel's there is because now what we're doing is we're training Juan and Miguel to ask the right questions to these people, to then book the appointment, to then share the options, to then now facilitate some type of health growth or opportunity for sale, right? So question again, to come back, right, to Trayvon. I know we were running around the block to get next door, but for when it comes to overcoming objections, a lot of times the new agent, you get popped in the mouth and then you go back and then you walk away. You're like, oh no, forget this. It's too hard. But a professional boxer, it's not about how hard you hit. It's about what? If you know anything about boxing, a good boxer, every boxer could give a good hit. It's about knowing how to get the hit and then come back, right? So think about sales. Think about this when you're overcoming objection as a boxing match, right? Now, I don't
Yeah.
want you to actually get down with them, Sheila, because Sheila's a little hood. Sheila may pop some of these police officers in the mouth, right? But and same thing with Danny. I don't know if I saw Danny with that the handlebar mustache, I might be a little upset. I might be a little intimidated, right? But here's what I would say, right? Is my mom gave me some really good advice when I was young. She said, Mijo, whenever you're in a position of sales, pretend you're playing ping pong. They ask you a question, you ask them a question back. And it's like playing ping pong back and forth. If you've ever been to the union, you know we have a ping pong table right outside our office, right? I love playing that ping pong because it's just asking questions, asking questions. So when you're overcoming objections, I'm going to continue to say it again because repetition is the key to success. Acknowledge their question. Ask. Hey, do you mind if I ask you a couple more questions on that topic? And then answer. And if I had to put another step to that is book the freaking appointment, right? Book the appointment. So Trayvon, you're doing good, bro. I'm glad. This is how I know you guys are out there like running into trouble because you're getting hit. This is where we group huddle every single week to mastermind on how to get better for the next 7 days. These meetings, guys, you cannot miss these meetings. I promise you. The 2 meetings you really, honestly, I wouldn't miss any of them. But the 2 meetings that you absolutely cannot miss every week is Tuesday night. That's the TFA 1 product training. Last night we talked about annuities, deep dive, right? And then Wednesday mornings. You cannot miss these, right? So again, great job. Another thing that I want to, since we're on the topic of rollovers and IRAs and stuff like that, get rid of the word annuity. Get rid of the word annuity. Replace annuity in your vocabulary with another type of IRA. Another type of IRA. Sell the sizzle, not the steak. Sell the sizzle, not the steak. If you tell them it's an annuity, they're going to Google annuity and they're going to look up a bunch of bad things that come up about annuities. There's 3 different types of annuities. There's 3 different types of IRAs. Variable IRAs, fixed IRAs, or index IRAs. You sell the benefits of the annuity, and now they start to ask you, well, what type of an IRA is this? Does that make sense? Now, but you don't say that while you're out in the field. You don't put that on a social media post, right? Give the sizzle, not the steak. We're coming in hot today, baby. All right. More objections. Can you guys tell I'm fired up today? It's my wife's birthday.
Pablo, what if they're a little shy sharing their, excuse me, their like finances, like the products that they already have?
Yeah. Such a good question. Such a good question. Always mirror your person. If they're super high energy, right? For the most time, you guys know I'm pretty passionate, right? So I'm super high energy most times. But if you ever see me like in a room full of people and people are a little bit more timid or whatever the case may be, you see that I kind of come down to their level in a way, right? This is more sales psychology. What they're trying to do is you want to earn the trust.
Mhm.
So earn that trust. And even though they're still maybe a little bit more timid, get to know what their bottlenecks are. Get to know what they're struggling with when it comes to their finances. A lot of times people may be a little guilty. They may be shameful of their finances. They may not feel like they have much, right? So kind of get to know how they feel a little bit. But I guess, Yvonne, role play with me so that we can overcome this real time.
Can I give you a scenario really quick that we can role play?
Yeah, let's do it.
At my daughter's soccer game last night, I ran into an old friend of mine, and she's where I've done her makeup, I've done her meal prep. She's gotten services from me before, so she does trust me. Her husband worked for Bank of America as a lender, and he just got laid off. So they, they've had investments through Bank of America, and some of it they weren't able to take with them. So I was like, oh, wow, I'm sorry to hear that about him being laid off. I'm sure he had a 401, have you guys rolled that over yet? What's the plan, the next step for you guys? And she's like, well, he doesn't really want me talking about it. She's like, but I do want to talk to you about this because, I've seen your Instagram, da da da, right? Uh, so how would I move in that form? Because it's not hers, it's her husband's.
Yeah. Great, man. This is a really good, this is a real conversation. Yvonne,
Mhm.
that's a really good scenario. Okay. Hey, listen, what's her name?
Vicky.
Hey, Vicky. Hey, I completely understand. I'm all about just complete confidence and I don't want you guys to feel uncomfortable or anything like that. Always think, guys, I think I was having this conversation with Trayvon earlier this week. Value first. Okay. Value first. Low commitment. Listen,
Okay.
actually having a webinar this upcoming week, uh, you could come onto it and just listen. There may be some things that you guys could take some value from. Believe it or not, a lot of people are getting laid off right now, right? Layoffs are going left and right. I just had a friend last week that got laid off from, they're going through something similar as well. And we have a couple solutions that's kind of help them protect their investments and also, hedge against any potential taxes. I think by you coming on it, you guys could come on it. If you got questions, we could talk afterwards. But maybe that might be something valuable for you guys to take part in. Now, what happens? It's very low area barrier of entry
Mhm.
where she doesn't need to give away anything. What she wants value first. Her and her husband want value first for them to make a decision.
Right.
Some people are very direct and to the point. They have no problem telling you what they have. Some people are more reserved. That's the word I was looking for. They're more reserved. The people that are more reserved, I love people that are reserved because believe it or not, I'm actually, for the most part, I'm pretty reserved with a lot of things in my life. It may not look like it, but I am, right? I want value first. Give me information, and now I could ask you as the advisor better questions. Now they come into an environment where they're getting educated,
Mhm.
and I'm dropping seeds into their mind that may spark an opportunity, right? I always say this, right? The power of the questions you ask determines the power of the outcome that you receive. The minute you drop a question in someone's head, their mind goes like this, right? So when they come on the webinar, there's going to be a lot of questions, whether it's tomorrow or another webinar. right? Or send them a video. Hey, do you mind if I send you a video? Or here's another question. Vicky, has anyone helped you guys find your financial independence number?
Yeah.
Your FIN, right?
Mhm.
For the people that don't remember it, right? What's the FIN stand for?
Financial independent number.
Okay. And what are the 3 questions that we ask when it comes to finding someone's financial independence number?
When they want to retire,
At what age do they want to retire?
how much it would take for them to retire.
How much do they need on a monthly basis in order to, by definition, retire? And then the third question is what?
Um,
Gabriella just said it. Would you want that money taxable or non-taxable?
that's right.
Right? And then you take that monthly desired income and you multiply it times what?
10.
200.
Right. Oh, 200. Okay.
So if they want $10,000 a month in retirement, 10,000 times 200 is 2 million. Now they have a target in their mind where they need to get to 2 million. They need to save $200 million by, let's just say, the age of 60 to, by definition, retire. What a lot of people need is a target, right? People need a target to get to. Now, what that does, you drop the question in Vicky's head with her husband. Her mind went like this. Now that gives you the opportunity to ask more questions and provide the value.
Okay. I actually registered her to your event. So I said, hey, let me do this. Why don't, we're having an event. It's going to be talking about different financial strategies. Let me get what you've been saying has been working a lot. I'm going to register myself right now. Let me get your email. I'll go ahead and register us together.
Boom. Don't
And
let
that's
people register. You register them.
why I'm registering them. That's why I know how many people have registered.
Perfect. Perfect.
Mhm.
Right?
So thank you for that.
100%. I know Yvonne and I were having that conversation. I think it was last week. She came to the office. She was like, man, Pablo, I'm having trouble getting people registered. I'm sending them the link, but they're not registering. I said, make this small adjustment.
Mhm.
Don't let them register. You register them register for them. Right?
It's working. Thanks for that.
I love it. I love it. This is good call, guys. Good call. Other objections that you guys caught. And it's not just on the production side. Sheila, I know you had a question as well when it came to building potential referral partners and stuff like that as well. If you want to ask that question.
Yeah, so this morning I was at a chamber event and obviously networking and whatnot. And one of the men there asked me what company I was with. And I said, the Financial Architects. And he was from Merrill Lynch. And you could tell he was like mid-20s, but total like greaseball, just creeper. You know how those guys look. And he was like, well, that's not a legitimate company around here. Like, no one knows what that is, kind of thing. And I had to explain that what we were was a brokerage. And when I spoke with Pablo about it, he had a really good comeback for that specific issue of how we should actually be, I guess, branding ourselves or actually speaking about what we do or what company we're with.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And just so you guys know, right? I want you guys to be on game about this, and I may take a little pride in this. Hopefully the Lord doesn't get on me about it. But just so you guys know, the average person that does what we do, I would write this down. This is a crazy stat. The average person that does what we do is over the age of 60. And I'm not, Lord knows my heart, I am not judging nobody. They are white, bald, blue eyes. I'm just going to be 100 with you guys. So yes, all of you guys are my brothers and sisters in Christ. You know that. You know, if you know me very well, you know I love you. You guys are the majority. Or I'm sorry, you're the minority. Okay? We don't look like the average. And I'm going to put myself in that group as well. We do not look like the average person that does financial planning. So we could help our people. Yes? We can help our people. I'm passionate about that. You guys know that. Okay? So when a guy like this comes up to me and he's walking around like his you-know-what stinks, right? I say, man, dude, that's awesome, bro. Congratulations. You're with a big company like Merrill Lynch. If you were to ever leave that company, do you take those clients with you? Oh, so you don't own the company. Got it. Okay. Got it. Let me ask you, what are the fees and what types of products do you offer your clients? What are the fees inside of the products that you offer your clients? Got it. Again, acknowledge, ask, ask. Right? A lot of times these guys, not all of them, not the majority, some of them, I've ran across them where they try to intimidate me. In the beginning, these securities licensed advisors, these guys, they're respectfully, they're puppets. Okay? They're puppets. We have options. And if you run into the problem where they're talking crap on the financial architects or you as an individual, yeah, I'm partnered in with companies like North American, Allianz, National Life Group, Fidelity and Guarantee. We have over 40 trillion dollar companies on our platform. What's up now? What's up now? I could talk big companies too, homeboy. I got no problem with that. Okay, I'm giving you guys that energy. I don't talk to them
Yeah,
like that. I
of
talk to them
course.
like this, yeah. So, right? I mirror them. Man, I feel funny today. I
The,
don't know. I'm on one.
I'm glad
Oh,
Sheila brought that up because I actually ran into that with someone that went to school at Vanguard and worked for Vanguard. And we end up having a good back and forth conversation. And it turns out she was like, well, after all this, she put up a huge wall on why you need to have a 401k, which you and we all know here, like, no, there's like, they're okay, but there's nothing special about them. And she's like, I just don't understand like guys like you that would possibly sell an annuity. And after asking so many questions, it turns out she didn't even really know what it was and what they do. She's like, we were just told at Vanguard they were bad. And I'm like, wow.
yeah.
So just keep in mind that people, Merrill Lynch, they have been brainwashed by that company. Hey, we gotta sell these products and you have to meet this quota. So if somebody from financial architects comes with something better, your job is to shoot it down without any real common sense. Just shoot it down. Don't even ask questions. Just tell them they're terrible and they need to get on your platform.
Trayvon's a little bit more ambitious, right? Trayvon's a little bit more ambitious, right? But here's what I would say, guys. Again, the formula, right? Acknowledge, ask, and then answer. Acknowledge, dude, that's awesome. Congratulations. How long have you been in the industry? What type of licenses do you have? What type of products do you offer to your clients? Right? What are the fees inside of the products? Right? Do you offer any type of index options for your clients? What happens when the market takes a hit? Here's a big one. Do your clients still make money when they lose money? Or do you still make money when your client loses money? I'm gonna say that again.
Yeah,
Because half of you guys don't even understand what I just said.
say it again.
Do you still make money, Mr. Advisor, when your client loses money? Oh, got it. So your client just lost $150,000, but you're still getting a paycheck. Got it.
So that's a negative, right? Or I mean, what is that to them?
To them, they're like, oh dang. So for me, I don't make money when my clients lose money.
Now, is that because they're W-2 or what?
Variable,
Mm,
mutual funds, stock portfolios,
okay.
variable universal life policies, variable annuities, 401ks.
And that,
If clients lose money, if you guys have an IRA or you have a money manager, a stock portfolio manager, and you lose money in your account,
mm,
believe it or not, the person that set you up still makes money. If
okay. So,
my client loses money, guess
mm,
what, guys? I don't make any money. So when I'm going up against an objection about, oh no, I got a money manager, or oh no, I got a financial advisor.
mm,
Oh, that's dope. Does your financial advisor still make money when you lose money?
mm.
You tell that to a client that has 150 grand or 200 grand or $1 million in a stock portfolio, they're going to start to look at you a little differently.
Mhm.
Because there's something that you know that I need to know as a potential prospect.
That's a good one. I have a buddy who goes head to head with me. He's from New York Life. Manny had him on the call.
Yeah.
That
They
was
know
he did.
what they do, guys. Listen, financial advisors, these stock guys, these Merrill Lynch guys that talk like this, these guys, they feast on brand new agents. If you could gut out and get really good at these objections, I guarantee you're unstoppable. I remember my first 2 years, I got hit in the throat a couple times. It hurt. I looked like a complete idiot, right? But now I have no problem walking into a room of multi-million-dollar 65-year. I've been in rooms when I'm the only Latino in the room, guys. I promise you guys. I went to my first year, I went to Minnesota with Manny and a couple other brokers. And we went to this event. It was a 2 or 3 day event with our old wholesaler. I promise you guys, 95% of the room was literally what I told you guys. I was the youngest guy in there by like 30 years. The second youngest guy was Manny. Right? So the more confident you get, and here's the reason why I'm bringing the passion to you guys. Okay. I'm doing this intentionally. I'm speaking to you guys with passion, extra passion today, because I want you to have the confidence when you go speak to these freaking advisors or to clients, right? A lot of times, guys, these guys, you know more than them. You just need the confidence. So I want to instill this confidence in you guys to trust yourselves. And if you get hit in the throat a couple times, fine. It's going to happen, right? It's going to happen. But now we bring it back. Pablo, how can I get better at this? Manny, how can I get better at this? Boom. And then you go out there and then now you feel more confident. You know how many times I ran these freaking meetings with Manny? I've learned from securities advisors, like these guys have literally poured knowledge into me. And the same way that I'm speaking to you guys is what they've instilled in me, right? So hopefully that helps. Now, are all these stock guys bad? Are all these products bad? No, they're not. 401ks are not bad. Danny, I'm coming to you. 401ks are not bad, but it's how they're funded. It's the age of the client. It's what is their lifestyle look like? What do their finances look like? Right? If I run across somebody and they're getting a dollar for dollar match in their 401k, I'm like, yo, bro, that's free money. Whether you lose or make, ultimately, that's free. You're getting 100% return on your investment. But if you're overfunding a 401k and you knowing as an advisor that you're going to get taxed heavily on the overage long term, I may have an opportunity for you to now that extra $300 or $400 that you're putting extra into your 401k or into your mutual fund. I could put that in a tax-free strategy, and you could actually get more value from it long term rather than paying taxes later. Does that make sense, you guys?
Makes sense.
All right, Danny, you got a question. And just so you guys know, I got 9 more minutes. Okay, 9 more minutes. Go ahead, Danny.
Okay, my cousin, he just did all this stuff to be a firefighter. I know they're gonna get a good program that they'll make money in. I'm not too sure what it is. However, he kind of like makes me small when I'm talking about financials to him because he's like, oh, I'm gonna be a firefighter within the next couple months. I don't need your products. How would I revisit that conversation? Because he doesn't have anything right now as it is, but he's kind of like preying on being a firefighter.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Couple questions for you, bro. Good question. Okay. Couple questions for you. Number one, is he a dad or is he married?
No.
Does he have any type of assets or a home?
No, he rents.
Okay. Is he currently making over $80,000 a year?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you straight off the top, he's not in your market. That's
Okay.
number one. Okay. That's number one. Number two is when you try to sell family, I'm going to tell you guys something so freaking shocking right now. You know, nobody in my family has bought a policy for me. I lost my best friend, not because of this reason, but my old best friend actually bought a policy from somebody else in TFA. Can you believe that? Edgar, by the way, okay? He bought an old policy from somebody else at TFA. I'm not going to give the name of who wrote it. Nobody on our team. And it actually turned out to be a terrible policy, by the way. So when it comes to family, I tell you that to tell you, bro, don't worry. Okay. Now, you're going to run into strangers that make you feel small.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's what you do. Sheila, make me feel small. Sheila,
I don't know what you're talking about. I have my own 401k and my department provides it. I really don't need your product.
Dang, that's awesome, Sheila. Congratulations. And look, listen, I completely agree. Like, I'm just getting into the business myself. And there's a lot that I'm learning, but I would love the opportunity for us to even sit down with somebody that has even more experience than me. They've been in the business for almost 2 decades and they're multimillionaires. Now, I know, Sheila, you're my cousin or you're whoever. But listen, I know one thing for sure, you ain't no millionaire yet, right? Yet. But I would love to actually, would you be open to learning from how a millionaire actually made his millions? When do you want to sit down with him? Monday or Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Awesome. Now, what's up now? They're not going to listen to you, bro, especially family. I promise you, family ain't going to buy from you. It's going to be very difficult.
Or I'm inviting them to a seminar and they're like, yeah, I'll see if I can make it.
Oh, awesome, bro. Just get registered. We'll send you the recording. You don't even got to make it. Here's the reason why they're not interested, Danny. You're not fishing in the right market.
Right.
You got to fish in the right market. Are you going to sell hamburgers to vegans?
No.
Not unless they're vegan burgers. Right? Juan, you got a question?
Yeah, when you said that if someone was overfunding their 401k, do you mean putting more than what the match is from their employer?
Right.
All right, thank you.
Yep. Good question. Any other questions, guys?
I would like to give some advice to Danny. First of all, what Pablo said is true. If they're not in your market, then don't even bother. But just because the answer is no now, and I only say this because my own dad kind of did that to me. And after 2.5 months, he actually bought a policy for me only because even though he said no, that family member does not see you as you knowing more than them. It might be like you might be a little cousin, or you might be, are you like a little cousin or something like that?
Exactly.
So remember, some of these people, you gotta not earn their respect, but they're looking at you as you don't know anything. But keep sharing your story, keep sharing the knowledge that you're growing. One day you're going to strike a nerve within. I struck nerve when the market fell in August for a couple days. No, not in August. There was a market downturn, I believe, in October or November. I struck a nerve by telling my dad, hey, our products, we don't do that. And he was like, oh, really? What products is that? Reopen the conversation. So this is all to say, just keep doing you. Don't focus on what they're doing. Just know that if you're learning and you're putting the work in, that if you have something to offer, eventually they will come. And just leave it at that. But don't overstress it though.
100%, guys. Listen, it's going to take time. You're brand new, right? You're brand new. And it's going to take time for you to build that credibility, especially with your hot market. That's why we always say lean your ladder on somebody that's a little bit more experienced, right? Okay. And if they don't buy from you, that's fine. Who do you know? Who do you know? Who do you know? Who do you know that's going to retire? Who do you know that's going to pass away at some point? Who do you know that's a dad? Who do you know that wants to make more money? Who do you know that wants to protect their assets? Who do you know? 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 Right? I'm bringing it today.
Fire.
Listen, guys, I love you guys. We have a bunch of events coming up. I would highly encourage, again, we have a financial planning webinar tomorrow at 6 p.m. Get registered. I put all the information in the Slack channel. I would send this out to your books of business. I'm just going to do an overview. It's going to be 30, 40 minutes. We're going to open up for Q&A. The point of the webinar is not to sell anything. The point of the webinar is to provide value and for you guys to book appointments next week. Okay? So I got to get going. I got a packed full day. I'm going to celebrate my wife now. It's her birthday today. I know I keep embarrassing her because that's my job as a husband.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
Hey,
I just want to say we love the last slide on Pablo's post. We love it.
I love it. I know. I'm about to hear it. I haven't seen her all morning. I'm about to get it right now. So wish me luck. If I don't tap in tomorrow, y'all know what happened to me. All right. Love you guys. Have a great rest of the day.
Bye.
Okay.